We find ourselves once again in Newark-on-Trent for our lunch stop. I'm looking at the old corn exchange there, dating from 1847, and this nice free house pub, Prince Rupert. What a lovely old building stuck amongst the new. Look at that. Well,
look at the sign chart with all students.
you do see some interesting things. But we're here in the market, which I don't think we filmed last time we was in Newark. Quite a few market stalls here, and there of course is that spire again, St Margaret's Church I think it is. A lot of historic buildings around here, and there's one on that far corner. I think I filmed that last year, and it's nice to get a different angle on it. Very interesting. Well, I just had to film this building because you'll see when I zoom in underneath there, we've got the timber framework. So the origins of this were Elizabethan, Tudor, more modern restoration work, so it makes it very hard to date. But certainly a very interesting building tucked into the corner there. Very nice, very nice. See, when you get up closer you realise that these are all carved figures here, and some of these have been painted quite brightly. There's no... I'll try and find out some information later as to what it is. It's all to let, but very interesting and intricate carvings. This is in fact the old White Hart Hotel. It's had listed status since 1950, but the oldest part dates back to the 13th century, so they say, although most documents I've seen say 14th and added on to until as late as the 18th century. Been fully restored during the late 20th, and that's how it appears today. And while I'm here, I'm just going to... There's another arcade here. I'm just going to have another zoom down the arcade and back. There's no young ladies in shorts on this one, so I can't be accused of slightly tinted films. There we go. That's this particular arcade. Very interesting places when you do go off the beaten track, but as always, lunchtime, not enough time to have a look. But at least we found something. As you can see, I'm standing outside quite an interesting building. This dates from well before 1645. I'm having to get in the shadow to get it all in, but that's a terrific little building. So let's take a walk and have a look inside, shall we? We'll try and be careful because there's people sitting in the tables. But you can see that there's definitely been divided into two shops at times. With lovely old timbers here.
Did you look up the dog training?
It's unusual restoration, that. Well, there's our coach, and he's still there. Looks as though the traffic warden didn't catch up with him. Here is a different entrance to the castle gardens, and as I'm looking through there, you can see the top. I have filmed through here before, but what I didn't know was how close to the river it is through here. So I've got a couple of minutes to spare, so we'll go and take a look down on the riverbank. That's a good idea. Hello, something's up. Blimey. Police cars on blues and twos. Has another civil war started? Now this is interesting, looking at the castle walls here. Was there something here? Can you see that? Definitely another, looks like some kind of entrance was there at one time. Hope you can make that out amongst the shadows. But an interesting change of building material as we come down here. Absolutely smashing. Some restoration of the walls, I think, has been done. But I would say that when I got down here, we are more or less on the original. And welcome to the River Trent. This is the Cookstall Wharf. But I'm now going to be looking up. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? And if I actually walk out onto this extended footpath that they've got here, which I hope will take me round to toilets eventually. Look at that. We'll have a walk round, but welcome to the river. Welcome to the River Trent. There's a helicopter there. With those police, I wonder if there's been an accident somewhere. Is that an air ambulance? But this is the River Trent. And there is a lock there. Very nice. Very nice. Let's have a wander along here. Better just double check the time. Oh, it's all right. We're not going till what the driver calls dentist time, 2:30. This is interesting. I'm looking up here. What's this, a hidey hole or a secret exit from the castle? Who knows? There's a bridge over the river there. There's some damage up the top, but you get an idea of what the castle was like at one time, don't you? Now they've got floodlights and everything on there. See the modern finishings on the bridge, but when you look down below, it's quite obvious that it's got a bit enough age to it, to the original. Lovely. Looking up the West Tower now. As I make my way back, there is a get a clearer view, look. There you are. And we're back almost to where the coach is. I think going up those steps will bring me there, but I'm going to go around the more gentle way. Quite an interesting building on the other side of the road there. Just see the top of it. Of course, most of the history around here is connected with a major battle of the Civil War. Wasn't this the place where the Cavaliers were defeated by the Roundheads? And here's the gatehouse. And informative leaflet for you, look at that. Leaflet, information board. There. And I think that will complete my walk around the castle for today, because it's time to head off back to the coach and away to our overnight stop in Harrogate. The road outside is very busy indeed. It's the main road out of Harrogate to Ripon. But here's our trusty steed, parked up overnight, ready to take us all after breakfast tomorrow off to Bonnie, Scotland. But I know it's filming into the sun a bit, but I've never had the chance before to actually zoom in on the hotel. As you can see, it's quite a roomy sort of place. I have dealt with it before on previous videos, so I'm not going to spend any time on the interior. You've seen it before. I just thought I'd catch some of the outside so that I can begin to fill up the journey north. I don't think there's enough to make a video of just the day out travelling at Newark and here, but if I get enough little bits together, then the whole of the journey north we can probably make into something sensible. But I'm going to take a little walk now while I'm in Harrogate. We got here nice and early. I got plenty of time before dinner, and there's somewhere I want to show you. Well, I'm currently walking along a little side road off the main Ripon Road. I see these lovely lamps here on these houses, and I've come down here for one reason and one reason only. All of a sudden it's getting busy with no cars a moment ago. I daresn't go too much closer, but there is the Swan Hotel, the old Swan. Now, why am I filming this? I hear you asking, and there is a very good reason, because it's the centre of a mystery. If I said the name Agatha Christie to you, do you begin to put two and two together? Remember, she famously disappeared, didn't she? She came here to the old Swan Hotel in Harrogate, where she booked in under an assumed name and disappeared off the face of the earth. Remember that? She had over 1,000 police looking for her. She'd booked in here. So there you go. You never know what's round the corner. Just taking a walk down into Harrogate itself now. Big crossroads. The bottom of the road here. It's very, very busy. I'm zooming up the road there because just up there on the right, where we can't see from here, is the famous Betty's Tea Rooms, where I'm told you need a small mortgage to get afternoon tea, but it's well worth the experience doing it once. And I think beside that is one of these famous Ivy restaurant places, you know. Don't know much about them except they're supposed to be rather up-close. Probably way out of my financial league, but there's some interesting buildings and interesting shops round and about. We zoom back round to the bottom now. I don't do very well with a lot of noise about. It makes me unbalanced sometimes, but not doing too bad here. A lot of the buses in Harrogate are now electric. I still don't know that this one isn't electric. I still don't know about the merits of electric traction. There's still so much you can't recycle from batteries, and we're still digging into the bowels of the earth to extract the chemicals and the metals needed to make the batteries. So I don't think it's as green as they make out. There's the Royal at Harrogate, the Royal Hall, and that name Kersal, an entertainment centre, reminds me of the Kersal at Southend. Quite a few of you might remember that. Southend's equivalent of Battersea Park Funfair. Here's the Harrogate Inn. Standing at the crossroads. This is a nice little flower garden. Harrogate's quite good for that. Different bits and pieces and places around the town. There's lots of these little flower gardens and parks. I mean, you can't say it's not an attractive town, because it is. You know, and if you can manage to walk up hills and things like that, there's an electric bus just coming along. So if you can manage the hills, there's a lot to explore here. Van there with events on it. This is obviously a place where things go on, maybe in that little park or even in that pavilion there. Interesting piece of architecture. That sign says Rog Gate. Another side view of the Harrogate Inn. Here's this little plaque I found along the side of the Harrogate Inn, next to the Hotel St George, and that tells you clearly about the history of the building. That's it.